What's up guys, it's Kelly, registered dietitian behind Hungry Hobby, and today we're here, I'm going to show you how to make my kielbasa soup recipe. We've been enjoying this soup recipe for the last few days because we've been under the weather. I don't know if you can hear it in my voice or not. I may break into a coughing fit, not totally sure. It's really comforting and packed with nutrients and veggies and just delicious. But before we get started, I want to have a quick note about how to chop the veggies in this recipe because it will determine how short or long it takes to cook the kielbasa soup. So I use the mandolin. You can also use a food processor. I don't recommend hand chopping the veggies for this recipe because you want them to be uniformly thin, and that will ensure that your soup cooks in 15 minutes. So make sure that you use the mandolin. I used just at the thickest one at 3. You can use 2 a little bit thinner if you want, but I'd say 2 to 3, and I can link to the mandolin I have below, and it's also linked in the full printable recipe on the blog. But you want to make sure that you use a mandolin for at least the carrots, celery, and sweet potato, so all the vegetables. Or, like I said, the food processor, if you have a slicer on your food processor, that will work too, but you just want them to be uniformly thin, or this recipe could seriously quadruple on time. If the sweet potatoes are too thick or the carrots are too thick, they will take forever to cook. So make sure that you use one of those things in order to slice your veggies. All right. So now that and I recommend just slicing and chopping all your vegetables before you even started, because once you're done slicing and chopping your vegetables, everything is just gonna go in the pot. So it's super easy like that. So once you've got everything ready, you're gonna start by adding 1 yellow onion to a really, really large sauce pot, like really big stock pan, and 1 tablespoon of oil, and saute that up until it gets translucent and tender. Once that's translucent and tender, you can add your sliced kielbasa sausage. You can use turkey kielbasa, regular kielbasa, whatever you pick is fine. They're both deliciously and equally flavorful, so it's just your choice. I got mine at the local natural food store, and it didn't have any preservatives or nitrates or anything like that in it. So add that up, and then you're just browning the sausage. It's already pre-cooked, so you don't need to worry about cooking it, but you're just browning the sausage. Once that's brown, then you start adding all those vegetables. So add your celery, so add your carrots, add your sweet potatoes, and then you can add, optionally, 1 cube of vegetable or chicken bouillon. Now, I know a lot of people don't like bouillon cubes. They don't think they're healthy. I use them sometimes. You can use an alternative. You can not use it at all. I've done it both ways, and it's delicious, so that's totally optional. Then you add your liquid. You can use chicken broth or vegetable broth, 4 cups, or 1 whole carton, 32-ounce carton, and 4 cups of water. Give that a stir, and then you're just bringing it to a boil and letting it simmer for about 15 minutes until all those vegetables are tender. Mine got tender at 10 minutes in, so it is a very quick recipe to do on the stove as long as you slice those veggies thin, as I said. Once it is cooked, all you're going to do now is throw in your favorite greens. I love if I can find pre-chopped collard greens. I love to do collard greens because it's just not something I eat very often. But you can also do kale or spinach, or any kind of thick hearty green will work. In this recipe here, I'm showing a Tuscan kale and then a little bit of baby kale because I made a mistake. But either way it works. You can just throw a bunch of stuff in there. Once that's wilted, your soup is ready to eat. I told you guys this recipe is insanely easy. And the soup, unfortunately, cannot be frozen though with the wilted greens. So if you choose to freeze this recipe, I would not do so with the greens. I would maybe keep half out and then add the greens. Or honestly, I have some instructions on how to freeze this recipe pre-made so that you can cook it when it's ready. That's how I would do it. I wouldn't necessarily freeze this recipe after it's already been made. You can do it, but your carrots and celery and vegetables might get just a little extra mushy. If that doesn't bother you, you can do it. But otherwise, you can enjoy this recipe as is, like we've been doing in my family, and I hope it helps bring some extra nutrients to you and warms your belly, and if you're sick, that you get better fast, or you just enjoy the soup. Alright guys, make sure that you like, subscribe, and share this recipe if you enjoyed this video, and I'll be back next time with another delicious recipe. Bye guys.